Clostridia Part 4, Clostridium tetani and tetanus. Clostridium tetani is also a gram-positive bacillus. It gives a drumstick appearance because of the terminal spores. They are pleomorphic and non-capsulated. They are motile with peritrichous flagella, and one exception is Clostridium tetani type 6, which is non-motile. Culture characteristics of Clostridium tetani: they are obligate anaerobes, 37 degrees Celsius is optimum, pH 7.4. Robertson cooked meat medium and thioglycolate broth can be used. Besides, blood agar and nutrient agar can also be used for growing them. Swarming on blood agar is a characteristic feature of Clostridium tetani. Swarming is an important characteristic feature of Proteus. So the most common example you can quote for swarming is Proteus, and after that, second most common example you can quote as Clostridium tetani. Clostridium tetani also shows hemolysis on horse blood agar. In biochemical reactions, it is feebly proteolytic and not saccharolytic. Resistance में Clostridium tetani spores can survive in soil for many years, and they are resistant to most antiseptics also. Antigenic structure में flagellar antigen and somatic O antigen are two important antigens of Clostridium tetani. Flagellar H antigen and somatic O antigen. Tetanus toxins: there are two toxins of Clostridium tetani, tetanolysin and tetanospasmin. Tetanolysin is a hemolysin and tetanospasmin is a neurotoxin. Tetanolysin is heat labile, oxygen labile, and it is not relevant in pathogenesis, while tetanospasmin is responsible for the pathogenesis. Tetanospasmin is extremely toxic neurotoxin. It is intracellular and released by the lysis of the cells. It is heat labile, oxygen stable, plasmid encoded. It can be toxoided, one of the most poisonous substances known. Remember that tetanospasmin is one of the most poisonous substances known. Minimum lethal dose of tetanospasmin for human beings is as little as 130 nanograms. Here is a figure which shows the mechanism of action of tetanospasmin. At the neuromuscular junction, the excitatory transmitters are released and inhibitory transmitters are released. Here, tetanospasmin, it blocks the release of inhibitory neurotransmitters, because of which the excitatory transmitter release goes on continuously, and because of that continuous excitatory transmission takes place, so spastic paralysis sets in. Pathogenicity of Clostridium tetani: spores are ubiquitous in GI tract and in soil. They are found in the GI tract of man and other mammals, and they are found in soil at different places. Contamination of the wound with Clostridium tetani spores is the first step. Then foreign body will get introduced into the wound, cells are destroyed, devitalization of tissue takes place, OR potential is reduced, tissue necrosis sets in, and such anaerobic environment with reduced OR potential is favorable for the growth of Clostridium tetani. The spores will germinate and the bacteria will multiply. The organism remains there localized. Toxin enters the CNS via retrograde neuronal flow or via blood. It goes there and blocks the release of inhibitory neurotransmitters, example GABA and glycine, and the excitatory synapse activity goes on uncontrolled, because of which spastic paralysis sets in and there is uncontrolled spread of impulses. The toxin acts its effect on the spinal cord, brain stem, peripheral nerves, neuromuscular junction, and directly on the muscles also. Incubation period of Clostridium tetani, tetanus, is 6 to 12 days. There can be local tetanus, there can be generalized tetanus, cephalic tetanus, or tetanus neonatorum. Lockjaw can occur. There can be pain and stiffness in the neck and back. Facial spasm can occur, which is known as sardoric grin. All the muscles are involved, and opisthotonus can also occur. Opisthotonus means extreme arcing of the back. Autonomic nervous system may be involved. In cardiac arrhythmia can occur. Fluctuation in blood pressure can occur. Profound sweating and dehydration may occur. What is lockjaw? Lockjaw means spasm of the jaw muscles, and because of this severe spasm of the jaw muscles, the mouth remains tightly closed, and this lockjaw is a property of tetanus. What is sardoric grin? Sardoric grin or rhesus sardonicus is a highly characteristic abnormal sustained spasm of the facial muscles, because of which it produces grinning of the face, like upset or sad face. This is known as sardoric grin. What is opisthotonus? Opisthotonus means spasm of the muscles causing backward arching of the head, neck and back. And in the severe tetanus, some kinds of meningitis, it can be seen, and in strychnine poisoning. Here a photograph which shows opisthotonus, rhesus sardonicus and opisthotonus are shown in these figures. Rhesus sardonicus, neonatal tetanus. In developing countries, it is more common in unhygienic practices, and human and animal population also, when they are coming in close contact, it occurs. Tetanus neonatum and uterine tetanus, they have high case fatality. In lab diagnosis of tetanus, diagnosis is generally clinical, and lab diagnosis is done only to support, not a decisive thing. Specimen collected is wound, exudate or tissue, and microscopy can be done, but it is unreliable. In culture, blood agar and cooked meat medium can be used. Toxigenicity testing can be done to check if the isolated bacteria, they are toxin forming or not. Drumstick appearance in microscopy and swarming on blood agar. Prophylaxis, surgical attention, antibiotics, immunization, in which passive, active and combined immunization all can be used. In active immunization, DPT and TT vaccines can be used. In passive immunization, STIG and ATS, that is human tetanus immunoglobulin and antitetanus serum can be used. With this we finish Clostridia part 4. Thank you.